All right, it is the Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 110, and unfortunately, the season has come to a close. And
It's over.
once again, premature ending. You'd like to make a bit more of a run. I think there's a lot of people that are going to be drawing conclusions from this. I had a couple takeaways, and I know the game only ended a few hours ago, but I think there's some very important things that we learned in that game about where this program needs to go in the future. And I think the number one takeaway that I have from this game is, unfortunately, I don't want to attack any of the seniors or anything, but point guard play.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Trent. He did great things here, but man, they need a legitimate point guard who can facilitate and it just without making stupid mistakes. And
Right.
the mind-numbing possessions where you're going down there and just dribbling at the top for 25 seconds and then shooting.
100%. I mean, I don't know what they were. I don't know why it was like slow down the game there. It took Brad a whole 16 minutes of gameplay to figure out that he needed to put shooters in the game. So Houston had to defend the three. And then, they come out second half and he starts the starters again. I love DeMonte. I've always been a DeMonte guy, but he gave nothing to the team today. His defense against Taze Moore was atrocious.
Tajay.
Whatever you want to call him. I don't care.
He was great.
Yeah, he was really good. And for Brad to take that long to figure out that they're not guarding Curbelo or Hawkins on the perimeter is mind-boggling to me. And it's worrisome to me. I mean, I know Brad can't go out there and make the team not go 6 of 25 from three. So I think they were 9 of 42 over the last 2 games from three. So I don't blame that on Brad, but it's not like Illinois didn't get shots. I don't think Houston's defense was spectacular by any means. And the other part of it, I think, was that you don't give Kofi enough touches. I mean, for Kofi to only get 11 shots up, 3 turnovers, that tells me that he probably touched the ball less than 20 times, which is absolutely insane to me.
And the biggest problem there was the fact that Curbelo and Hawkins were in the game and they're not guarding them because they can't shoot. Right. So they have more guys to clog the lane and can't get the ball to Kofi. And that's where having a legitimate playmaking point guard who's a threat to shoot. And I'm not saying Trent's not a threat to shoot, but he's just very bad offensively to close the season. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But and also another thing that you can take away is if you learn anything from Houston, you got to have a little bit more length at guard. And Illinois had none of that this season.
Yeah.
All 4 of their guards are small.
And it's not like they're getting big guards coming in though, so I don't know
true.
How you fix that. Wing play, I think, is going to be huge. I mean,
lot more size
RJ
at
and
wing
Goody, after not even touching the court against Chattanooga, put in great minutes for Illinois this game. I think this is a big thing. Kelvin Sampson, not afraid to just take shots at Brad Underwood. He said Illinois doesn't do anything tricky.
They don't.
Case in point.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't. It's get it to Kofi or try to go 1-on-1 and make a 3. They don't move the ball enough. I told you I don't know how I've never yelled at my TV so much to I can't even think right. Pass the ball, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Ball movement. They stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's why Brad's gotten about as much out of this group that you can, because I think it's proof now they aren't really built to go that far in the tournament. Like they're built to muck it up in the Big Ten and beat teams they're familiar with.
Right.
But they're not. I mean, I also think there's a legitimate argument to the fact that they've been screwed 2 years in a row with these matchups, facing the best teams on that seed line every single year, despite the fact they were the number 3 1 seed last year. And I don't remember what 4 seed were they this year. They had to be like the 2nd or 3rd 4 seed. So 100 just.
Yeah.
But you also just got to go out there and win, and you can't.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got to play everybody, right? I mean, you play the team in front of you, regardless of who it is. To draw Houston after drawing Loyola last year, I mean, you face number 9 Loyola and Ken Palm, And I think Houston was number 5 coming into the tournament. I think they moved all the way up to number 2 after their first game. So, it sucks to draw it, but you still gotta show up. And I'm not gonna hate on Trent because his eye looks awful.
Yeah,
and there you can tell that his depth perception was not good on those free throws he took. He was short on them. But to have your seniors and your super seniors not show up in the tournament hurts. I mean, Frazier 1 for 6 from 3. Plummer was 2 for 7. I mean, Plummer needs to knock down shots for you. And then, it just seemed like they played timid. Everybody wants to holler and yell because Curbelo is taking shots. He's the only guy that had any confidence shooting. I don't care if they don't go in or if he's not a great 3-point shooter. He's the only one that wanted to step up and make a shot, regardless of if they went in or not. So I don't know. It's just it's a sad ending. It's another ending, that we don't want. And I'm at a loss for words with where this team goes from here. I mean, something has to change offensively.
I think it will.
If Kofi comes back, though, I mean, I don't know where it changes.
I'd like to see a little bit more small ball. Like, I think playing Hawkins at the 5 more next year or Dane Dange at the 5 more next year will make them better, a little bit more dynamic. Because you look at some of the best teams in the country. I mean, does Villanova have a true 5? Not really. And I know that some teams do. I mean, Gonzaga does, but some of the better teams in this tournament don't really have a true 5. And if they do have a 5, it's like a defensive rebounding 5. It's not an offensive number 5. So.
Yeah, and it just seems like, I mean, Illinois doesn't have, and I know that Brad doesn't want like set offenses, but he's got to run a few. I mean, you got to have something.
No spacing at all, man.
Yeah.
Just no real offense for the most part.
Yeah.
The freshmen being as good as they were is definitely a good sign, I think. It can't be that hard to game plan for Illinois. I think Kelvin Sampson's 100% right with that, despite the fact he's a cheating scumbag. He's done a great job with that team this year, considering what they lost from last season and what they lost this season, with pretty much their 2 best players, or 2 most reliable players, being out for the year.
Yeah.
So, I didn't think it was a good matchup for Illinois because of the rebounding, and that definitely was true.
Yeah,
Illinois,
and everybody knew that coming in.
And Illinois did nothing to improve on the glass. So Good job, Brad.
No, and I don't know. I don't know if it's an effort thing, if it's what it is, but it's weird. Brad, after the game, just a couple things. He said, we won a Big Ten championship. They're going to hang a banner, and we're going to get a ring. We played well. We didn't shoot it very well. 2 games here, we shot it terrible. Grandison's injury, Frazier's pink eye hurt. So
yeah, well, I think the Big Ten championship is great, but I think next season needs to be the start of trying to make some runs.
And apparently, the ref told Underwood that he shouldn't have called that technical on Melendez.
I'm glad that geezer douchebag figured that out.
That really helps, get the momentum back with Illinois. Once you say afterwards that you shouldn't have called it. I mean,
maybe he should have just let go and went flying into the cameras and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
Great job by the refs. Probably the worst officiated tournament in a long time.
Yeah.
Really bad. There's been some standout calls that have just been unbelievably bad. But, Underwood, did they ask him after the game about the future at all? Or maybe they'll ask him in a few days, I guess?
I don't know.
I know Kansas State fans are still holding out hope, but now here's the question that I have.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think so either, but just to touch all the bases here. Is LSU going to have any sort of like ban from the postseason at all? Because that could be a factor.
I would assume they would, yeah.
Yeah, so I
don't know why they wouldn't. I mean,
I think Kansas
Oklahoma State's sitting there with a ban.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know how LSU doesn't.
I think Kansas State probably hires Jerome Tang, who's an assistant at Baylor. That would be my assumption, but they'll probably still try to talk to Underwood. But I think I mean, Underwood said something about the future. Like, that's the future that you saw with Melendez and Goody. Yeah. And it's like, okay, Brad, then why the hell didn't you play them more in the tournament? Because think about this. How many times do we just see DeMonte driving and turning it over or just tossing it into the corner on the inbounds plays?
The pass into the corner was brutal.
And then Trent getting thrown out of the way, comment here.
Yeah. Yeah. Trent, 2 clips
right
of Trent
in front of the
got
ref's
grabbed
face.
and thrown out of the way. Yeah. It's unreal. I mean, Illinois, I don't know, the officiating for against Illinois, it seems to suck.
It'll change if Kofi's gone, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I don't know. I just
the number one guy that Illinois needed to stop in this game, on paper going into it, was Kyler Edwards, and he had 15 points on 5 of 16 shooting, so he wasn't a world beater. They got killed by Tajay Moore and Jamal Shed.
Yeah.
So I mean, what can you do? And you get out rebounded 39-33, which didn't even seem that close because offensive rebounds, they had 15. Illinois did have 11.
11, yeah.
I think offensive rebounding in the tournament is so easy because the ball goes flying off the rim. You don't know where it's going to go because these rims are so tight. That's the reason Illinois lost. Tight rims and an orange ball. Yeah. Too orange.
Apparently, everybody's hating on Trent Frazier today, so good work.
What a way to send him off, guys.
Good job.
I mean, I tweeted a few things
2 weeks ago. We were saying how he needs his jersey hung in the rafters, and now we hate him. So, gotta love Illini Twitter.
I'm just trying to make sure I didn't tweet anything too stupid during the game. I was annoyed that he missed 2 out of 3 free throws, but
yeah, I'm telling you that his eye looked awful. But a lot of positives though. I mean, the freshmen, you saw what they're going to be able to do with more time. But yeah, Grandison, his arm must still be bad.
Him not being there was a big factor. I
think so. Steve, what's up? Bummer for sure. Just Grandison shooting from outside would have been, so much more helpful.
And maybe Brad not playing DeMonte Williams at all. So that would have been helpful as well. I mean, he played – how do you let him play 20 minutes? How? Yeah. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and I guess I don't get, the team that brought you back at half when you were brutal all half, got it within 4, and you have no desire to let those guys come out at halftime. You come back with the same starting 5. I know that's Brad's MO, and I know that's what he does. But there wasn't a person in the world that didn't think that Brad should have put those guys back in to start.
There's a difference between trusting your guys and being loyal and trying to win the game in that case. And they didn't try to win the game. And what do you think about Curbelo not playing the second half? I mean, it would have been nice to have a little bit of point guard play, but it also his fit against that team is like turnover city if he's controlling the ball the whole time.
I mean, I think I don't know about not playing him at all.
I agree. I mean, they didn't initiate any offense for the most part. Plummer had that 4-point play, and then they instantly gave it right back.
Well, and I mean, it's not like he was super turning the ball. I mean, he had 2 turnovers.
Not on paper, but it just he wasn't. I like the fact that he's not afraid to shoot. But also,
on paper, DeMonte had 3 turnovers, and you can credit him with probably 3 more.
He should have played 1 minute. Should have yanked him right away. And I think they will make some adjustments to where they're more, capable of winning in March. I think that there's a few things with this team that kind of just like inconsistency, like relying so much on Plummer to be the guy that makes all the threes, and Trent hadn't been shooting well for a while. And the thing that sucks the most is that their offense after the Michigan game just non-existent.
Been brutal.
And it looked its best it's ever looked against Michigan, and then everything went downhill. And I think playing a team like Penn State right after Michigan was kind of annoying because you're completely different contrast. Like Penn State's much more defensive team, slow it down. And we don't want Hutcherson back, I would say would be the answer there.
Ethan's not a believer in Hutcherson.
They're going to have 5 or 6 guards above him.
Come back.
I'm good on that.
I mean, he's more of another wing that you can put in there.
He's listed as a guard, and he's only like 6'4", 6'5", so
I mean,
he can play the wing, I'm sure, but also we don't need him.
It'll be interesting what happens. I mean, there's a lot of Sky Clark talk.
That would be big time.
Having Epps come in, you wonder about Curbelo. I mean, Curbelo sounds like he's going to be back according to Twitter, but we heard the same
didn't
thing
think Adam Miller was going to leave. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. So
I think getting a point guard in the transfer portal, like a veteran point guard, that's like a little bit different, like a little bit more length.
Yeah, Jake can. Grandison can come back. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. It'll be interesting. I mean, the off season of college basketball is a lot different than it used to be. So it's gonna be a lot of moving parts. There's gonna be a lot of things going on. And anybody that thinks that Brad Underwood should be fired, are you gonna talk about that?
I mean, let's think about a couple things here. John Gross.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a guy trying to get into it on Twitter with me for a week now. So, talking about Brad can't get the team up, have him prepared, whatever. I mean, my thing is the guys. You got to rely on the guys to do something themselves. It's
a veteran team too.
Yeah, they talked about like there were beat writers that were talking about how Houston had energy during their warm-ups, and you could tell they were energized and ready. And then 5 minutes later it was like Chester Frazier getting the guys pumped up with the most energy. Like your coach shouldn't have the most energy when you're playing for a chance to get to the Sweet 16.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I mean, what can you do, really? Final thoughts on the game. I would say the cold streaks kind of killed them again. Having a long cold. I mean, they were going toe to toe for the first 5-6 minutes of the game, and then they just let it get away.
It's nice to go to the dance every year. I don't like gross years. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the thing. As an Illinois fan, you got to remember where we were, right? I mean, we were in the bottom of the barrel. 2 years. I mean, 2 years even with Brad, and he's changed it around. So you get to the tournament. I think he made a comment about that. Is we get here, we'll be back here, and we just keep getting here. So, but yeah. One person high hopes for Danger. Yeah, so does Ethan. I'm not sold on him yet, but
sold. Please, he comes from a winning program. That's what you want.
He played 3 minutes at that winning program.
He was there for a while, though, wasn't he? Yeah. So, what's up? I mean, an example of that is the impact that Kyler Edwards had on Houston. He came from Texas Tech, knows what's what, and I mean. Dane Danger will be a great fit because he's got the size, the athleticism. How much did they say he was weighing in at? Didn't he lose some weight?
Yeah.
Because 6'9", 270 is not going to cut it, which is what he's listed at.
He's dropped 30 pounds, I think.
All right, good.
15,
yeah, they'll be fine.
30.
They'll be fine at that position, I think. And you won't worry as much about having a true four as they have in the past. I mean, Hawkins was just so inconsistent. Thanks for that, John. So let's look at next year real quick. And actually, let me just say this as well. If Underwood is gone, which is not going to happen, let me just say this. It's not going to happen. If Underwood is gone, where do you go?
Harris is going to be great energy next year. I can already see it. I think the freshmen are going to be great, like all the freshmen. Where does Illinois go for a coach?
Do they look at another power conference school, or do they go to a mid-major?
Maybe we get Quazo Martin.
Okay.
I'm not even going to entertain this.
I don't want to either. I'm just wondering. The people want to know.
Zero entertainment for me, bro.
Here's what I'll say about that. Tony Bennett. All right, let's move forward here. Let's see. Next season, let's just throw this out there too. I had a poll. Will Brad Underwood be the Illini head coach 2022-23? 66% say yes out of 63 votes. 33% say no. Seems pretty low. 66% is low. So I don't know what's up with that. Then this absolute loser responded and said the better question is, should he be? Really? Okay. And then I said, if anybody's stupid enough to ask that question, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember John Gross? I mean, come on. What are we doing?
Evan says Trent Frazier is head coach. I'm not gonna lie. If Brad Underwood leaves, I think Chester Frazier gets the job. So
I wouldn't hate it, wouldn't love it because I don't want Brad to go. But
yeah, that would be my guess. If it did happen, I think you promote Chester. So,
or
I mean, that's why he came to Illinois, right? To basically take over for Brad.
Tony Bennett
in 10 years. Or Tony Bennett. Zero chance.
How about we Phil Martelli, Michigan. There you go. Anyway, let's look ahead quickly to next season a little bit. We'll get more into this over the next month or two. Be some transfer news I'm sure we'll have to talk about. We'll talk about Kofi entering getting feedback about the draft, and they're going to say, dude, you're not going to get drafted. And then he has a decision to make. Do I go back to college and get beat up constantly and not get calls, or do I go overseas?
There's no shot I come back to college.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance he doesn't come back.
I mean,
and I don't even look at the NBA draft as the reason either.
Who would want to come back and play college basketball and just get elbows in your back and your side and your stomach for 30-plus games and get zero calls? He can go play EuroLeague, and they probably don't even touch each other over there. So.
And it's another round 2 loss where Kofi was the best player on the floor for the Illini. Same thing as Loyola last year. So,
yeah,
way to waste another one there, boys. So, next season, looking ahead a little bit, I listed some guards, forwards, and centers for what the roster could look like. Guards, you have Epps, you have Harris. I put Podge ? What happens with him if he wants to go? He has elite mid-major written all over him. Like if he goes to a mid-major, he could be a legitimate star. And he's not going to play here clearly because the one game where he actually played and did stuff was Northwestern on the road. So
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I put Curbelo ? We don't know what's going to happen with him.
My thing with Curbelo is if Illinois gets Sky Clark, I think if Illinois gets him, then Curbelo probably.
And then the unfortunate thing there is that you're relying on freshman guards.
He's probably going to Rutgers out east. So
no, he'll go to St. John's hopefully.
Yeah, I'd rather not have all freshman guards.
That's why we'll get to that in a minute.
I hope Curbelo comes back.
Grandison ? I assume he'll come back.
Yeah, I mean he can go play in the EuroLeague too if he wants.
If he wants to, yeah. Forwards / wings: Ty Rogers, Dane Danger, Coleman Hawkins, Luke Goody, RJ Melendez, and BBV. Assuming BBV comes back.
No, get him out of here.
He's a sophomore. I mean,
see you later.
You used to love the guy.
Throw him in the portal. Well,
we really turned on him quickly.
Things change.
And then at the 5,
started wearing glasses.
At the 5, it's Payne ? Kofi ?
Yeah, I don't know if Payne stays.
I wouldn't.
I don't think he developed like he thought he would. I don't think he was utilized like he thought Illinois would utilize him, and he didn't see a minute today. So,
which was weird.
He can't rebound, so I guess they thought that BBV could rebound better for the whole 2 minutes that he came in,
which is also weird. So Sky Clark, I mean, where are you at on that one right now?
It sounds like he's coming to Illinois.
Unless we're being duped, and if we're being duped, I can't handle this BS anymore. I mean, Jesus.
I know he's good. But it's not going to hurt me one way or the other if he comes.
It's going to hurt me deeply.
He from the way he talks, he lacks confidence in himself after his injury, and then he broke his hand or something in February. So
he'll be fine. Rub some dirt on it. Get ready to go.
Yeah, I mean he's afraid to compete at Kentucky. That scares me.
Did you watch Kentucky on Thursday? So I wouldn't want to go there either.
True.
Anyway, but I mean, Sky Clark, wasn't he like a top 10 guy before his injury? I think he was in the top 10 of that class, and now he's like, what, 27 or something?
Mid-20s, yeah.
He's kind of like Io range, except Io is a little bit lower. But I think another big thing is a transfer point guard. Get a veteran point guard. I don't care where he's from.
We're going to have more point guards?
I mean, do you want to have all freshman point guards if Curbelo is gone? This is if Curbelo is gone. If he's gone, you need like a 6'4" point guard who can
I don't know.
do everything.
I say ride with the freshmen. Who cares?
Would be good for him. I don't think Underwood would want to, but more emphasis on rebounding, which what I mean by that is the entire season, because they pretty much quit rebounding after December.
Yeah. I think Hawkins, Ty Rogers seems like he's got a real nose for the ball. And it was more, guard rebounding, right? I mean, that's kind of what Illinois lacks is
because their guards are all tiny.
Attacking. Yeah. But I mean, like today, and it's Plummer, but he played really good defense and then boxed the guy out. And so please no more point guard, says Evans. Thank you, Evan.
If Curbelo leaves, you got to get another one. Is Sincere Harris like a true point guard?
No, he's a shooting guard, actually.
Okay, so the problem with Clark and Epps together is that they kind of seem like the same player. Like less playmaker, more shooter, scorer.
Yeah, really good ball handler.
Fine.
So
I'd rather have shooters and scorers than turnover-prone playmakers. I'm not saying that about Curbelo. I'm just saying that Illinois turned the ball over a lot. And they kind of reverted back to early November games today with how many dumb turnovers.
They're just bad.
You can't play like this in the tournament, man. Tempo. I want to see a little bit more up-tempo if Kofi's gone. Less half-court offense because their half-court offense is atrocious.
Brutal.
Think Michigan State, but turn the ball over a little bit less.
Yeah.
Stretch the floor more. I think that they can do that with Ty Rogers there and Goody and Melendez playing more. Stretch the floor a little bit more outside threats, guys who are 6'6", 6'7". And I have some Ken Palm targets. Top 25 offense next year. I think that's doable. I want a top 15, top 12 defense. I think they need to be elite defensively.
I think RJ and Goody play really good defense.
Goody is a really good defender.
Yeah. Even when he's straight up and they decide to call fouls on him.
How about that play on the line there where he pretty much had a Curbelo-like play with the hands, knocking it out and then passing it, saving it. So that was a good defensive play.
Mm-hmm.
But, in terms of a comp for that, kind of like what Auburn was this year.
We need power forwards in the tournament.
Offense, number 7 defense.
Is going to kill us if we stay short. We're getting them. Ty Rogers. I think Dane Danger is more of a power forward than a center myself, but
I think he is too. He's 6'9", but I mean he could play the 5 if you need him to.
Yeah,
Hawkins.
But he actually has handles, unlike most bigs. So
if Hawkins puts on a little bit more weight, I think he could be a guy that you start.
And I would love to see Illinois be smaller at the 5 and play more of a no post offense. I mean, that's the thing with Kofi though. It kind of feeds you into it. Except Illinois is really bad at playing that sort of offense. They don't get the ball to him enough. They didn't get the ball to him enough today. It's gonna
be a much different offensive style next year if Kofi's gone. So I don't know. We'll see. True. I mean, a lot of roster turnover. I'm sure the next time we do a podcast will probably be when Curbelo transfers or something. I'd guess. We'll talk about that, I guess.
Probably when Lieb transfers.
That's a guy you need back next year for sure. I think the stuff that he does for encouragement on the bench is next level. And okay. I mean, looking ahead to next year, don't they have the early season tourney in Vegas, right?
Yep.
You'll be
going to it.
What event is it?
In person. The Rogan, what's that called?
Roman Classic.
Roman
main event.
Main event, yes.
So
I got tickets. 8th row.
What is the field for that?
UCLA, Virginia,
Baylor.
and Baylor.
Yeah.
Is it Baylor?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the good thing there is that I don't think Virginia is going to be that good.
That's true.
UCLA,
Baylor
will be good. I don't think UCLA will be as good.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, that'll be interesting.
It's going to be an eye-opener to see how good this team will be. So
probably going to go 38-2 next year, the national championship. So, all right, I guess that'll do it for us.
I just take a Sweet 16, Brad.
Yep, me too.
Just one.
Thank you to all the fans out there for listening and watching and stuff all season.
Sorry, this podcast, this one's not good. I'll admit that.
What can we do though? I mean, it's just annoying.
I'm devastated. So
we'll be back in a few weeks. Maybe put a complete bow on the season.
Evan says, "Well, it's a tough year. Glad I found you guys here. It was fun watching and talking about Illinois basketball." Thanks, Evan. We appreciate you. Steve, thanks for stopping by almost every episode. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that listens out there, we appreciate it. So
yep, absolutely. So we'll be back in a few weeks. Probably put a complete bow on the season.
We're not leaving until next year.
Yeah,
so,
I think maybe
we'll be back.
Some season awards. There'll be some transfers. I'm sure. Maybe Sky Clark will figure out how he's going to annoy me this time, and we'll talk about Brad Underwood's extension that he's inevitably going to sign. So
that's right.
All right. We'll see you for episode 111 in a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe after the national championship at some point. Anyway.